History of Santa Part 2. If you got young kids in the room, pause or maybe come back to this video later. St. Nicholas passed away on December 6, 343 AD. The church celebrated a feast on that day until the Reformation. Protestants do not venerate saints, so after the Reformation, the stories of St. Nicholas morphed into the larger celebration of the Christmas season. Between 1200 and 1500 AD, Nicholas was known for bringing gifts to children, but on December the 6th. After the Reformation, some groups tried to create traditions where baby Jesus would bring the gifts to people. Since infants have very little ability to carry gifts and they're not very scary, they thought he needed a sidekick. Some of his helpers were named Rue Claus or Rough Nicholas, Aschenclaus or Ashy Nicholas, and Pelsnickel or Furry Nicholas. These characters expected children to behave or be whipped or kidnapped for their bad behavior. So yes, baby Jesus and his sidekick Santa would kidnap children in some of these traditions. The name of the baby Jesus that gave these gifts was Christkind or Kris Kringle. While many groups gave up on St. Nicholas after the Reformation, the Dutch did not, and they continued to celebrate his feast day on December the 6th. When the Dutch migrated to the Americas in the 1700s, they brought their traditions with them. Their children would put out shoes the night before he was to come to see what gifts he would leave in their shoes the next morning. And the Dutch referred to Nicholas as Sinterklaas or Santa Claus. In New England, the Dutch feast on December 6th was shunned by many. It was considered to be a wild outdoor party filled with alcohol. Gift-giving ceased, and Santa, the bringer of gifts, had begun to lose his appeal. But this all changed in the 1800s thanks to a few cartoonists and poets. In 1809, Washington Irving portrays Santa as a pipe-smoking man who flies over the rooftops in a wagon. He would bring presents to good girls and boys. In 1821, a poem called The Children's Friend associated him with Christmas. This is considered to be the first appearance of Santa as we know him today, and in this story, he does ride a wagon, but it's pulled by one reindeer. In 1822, Clement Clarke Moore wrote a poem, A Vision from St. Nicholas. Today, that poem has been retitled The Night Before Christmas. This is the first poem to call Santa plump and jolly. It does retain his pipe smoking, and it adds to the reindeer, making the total number of 8. Can you name them all without looking it up? Side note, Rudolph was created in 1939 in an ad for Montgomery Wards. Another fun fact, reindeer lose their antlers in the winter unless they're female, and they always seem to draw Santa's reindeer with antlers. In 1879, Thomas Nast portrays Santa for the first time living at the North Pole. Previous traditions have Santa living in Turkey, Holland, and Spain. In Finland, to this day, children believe Santa lives in Lapland, which is in the northernmost part of their country. After Santa became popular in the United States, this new version of him remigrated back over to Europe. In France, his name was changed to Père Noël or Father Christmas. This is also what he came to be called in Great Britain. He was banned for a time in the Soviet Union, but after its fall in 1989, he became popular there again. So how does Santa relate to Christ? Find out in Part 3.